When the pandemic started, we quickly realized we couldn't survive off of just one revenue stream.
It feels like we did something that we should have done 8 years ago. It was a little bit scary, but I think the idea of not changing was scarier.
Fear was the first thought, and then survival mode. You have to adapt.
We had outdoor dining while it was warm in Boston, which was great, but as it started to get cold, we had to think about ways to creatively and safely have our diners inside. Together as a management team, we were putting our heads together of what to do. What we've done is we've placed tables inside the suites in the Elliott Hotel, which we're located within. There's 2 tables per hotel room because they are all suites. So there's a living room area and a dining room area. There's a table in each. They're separated by French doors, which we keep closed. It's a very comfortable, socially distant, and fairly luxurious setting. And we have definitely had first-time guests come in to dine safely and socially distant.
My takeout service just sort of became stagnant and didn't feel very interesting. And so I decided to implement a subscription service based on number of pots. All of my takeout is done in cast iron pans for you to take home. I felt that if I were able to offer more than just an online menu where you would order online, pick up and go, that I would create an experience where I keep the customer engaged with me over the course of a few weeks. It's one of the major elements of the restaurant world where, you know, when people sit down, you get to know your customers and they get to know you. So this has helped us keep connected to our customer base. Now I anticipate that my business is going to be a solely takeout restaurant where we prepare all the stuff daily, fresh, per order, and it's either picked up or delivered right to your doorstep.
Our guests really love consistency, and I wanted to make sure that, you know, while some people were more adventurous and, you know, wanted to cook at home and have our pasta and mix it with our sauce and do the whole thing, that we wanted to also have a service available for some who maybe just wanted it already made and wanted some consistency to their week, that didn't actually just want to have to call for takeout, but wanted to have something planned that they can plan out for a month and also have just something that's yummy and hot show up at their door.
We have a large restaurant, and we had a space that we used for private dining that was not getting utilized the way we wanted it to be. We had decided we were going to turn the private room into a pizza place. And so we had done all the drawings, figured out what oven we wanted and so on, and it was gonna get put in March, and then COVID hit. So we put that on hold because we couldn't allow anyone in the restaurant by state mandate or federal mandate. And so we didn't think creating another restaurant was necessarily the right idea. And we also didn't know financially how we were gonna get through the summer.
And so we waited and we waited, but any to-go places, takeout places were killing it. They were surviving much better than a full-service restaurant would. And at the end of the summer, we made enough money where we're like, all right, we feel very comfortable to put this pizza oven in and do it the way we want.
We're selling a ton of pizza, tons of to-go pizza. We added delivery.
The winter months when people were still afraid to come dining in and we weren't allowed to go outside or we couldn't go outside because of the weather, pizza was the answer. And we had a lot of to-go, a lot of delivery, and this helped us stay afloat.
The market idea came from a friend, not sure about going to markets right now because of COVID. We just don't know enough about the virus. I think it was out of necessity and out of curiosity. Can we do it? Sure, let's try. The first time being a 50-pound bag of flour, and then the second time being 50 items turning into 200 items in our PAGU market. You can select when you want to pick it up, what time. It's a pretty smooth process. I wouldn't say that we're like e-commerce experts by any means, but we've figured something out and it works. If all these people in Cambridge like PAGU Market and they can afford it, what about people who can't afford it? How can we get them groceries? We asked ourselves, what is the root of restaurant? Restaurant means to restore. If you feed people, you're restoring them. We started a nonprofit called Project Restore Us. We got other restaurants on board. All of those restaurants are female owned and operated, people of color. We have those restaurants and their employees package culturally appropriate groceries for families in need. There was quite some thought given to what is this work that we are doing. This is, for us, the definition of a restaurant, to feed all people, and all people should have access to the food. And I think that these lives that we're reaching with the grocery boxes are more important than my restaurant being here tomorrow.
Actually been looking at locations around the city. We were thinking about what the best neighborhoods would be for a bakery. And it was one of those things that between running 2 restaurants and keeping up with the daily demands, it sort of was somewhere in the middle of the priority list. When COVID happened and we really hit the brakes on things slowed down, it gave us an opportunity to think, and we started rethinking right away. We could build this bakery space right here at Steel and Rye. And at the same time, there was such a different demand and need for something in the community.
We had done the parking lot to create more outdoor seating. The next evolution of that was to, again, cast a wider net to get more people in here and to diversify the restaurant and to have people come for breakfast, lunch, and then fade into dinner.
We were pretty tentative to pull the trigger because we were about to embark on an expensive renovation at a time where our revenue had dropped 60 or 70%.
The bakery to me was like more of a slam dunk. When he showed it to me, and I was like, oh yeah, like no brainer, like this thing's gonna work. To have all these different functions going on, you know, you have the open kitchen in one corner, you have the bar on one side, you have the private dining room, you have the wood oven, and now you have the bakery.
And it was really important that if we're gonna insert this bakery counter right in the center of this restaurant that has been used in one way for 8 years, we put it in a way that it fit the space, it looked like it belonged, but at the same time, it looked like it was something new. We have regulars who are at the bakery every single day, 5, 6, 7 days a week. It feels like we did something that we should have done 8 years ago. The counter itself came out of this period in time, but it'll be here forever.